Have you ever felt like no matter how much you give, it's never enough? You answer every call, keep every promise, sacrifice your own time, and put everyone else first, yet somehow, you're still the one who's ignored, overlooked, and taken for granted. Why does this happen? Is it because you're too kind, or because you've unknowingly taught people that your kindness has no value? The Stoics discovered a painful truth that most people spend their entire lives ignoring. People don't always treat you the way you deserve, they treat you the way you allow them to. And if you don't understand this lesson, you'll continue losing your peace, your confidence, and your self-respect while wondering why nobody truly appreciates you. In this video, you'll discover the timeless Stoic principles that explain exactly why people take you for granted, and more importantly, how to make them value your presence without begging for attention, approval, or validation. Stay until the end, because the final lesson is the one that changes everything. Once you understand it, you'll never let anyone treat you as an option again. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's uncover the Stoic wisdom that helps you earn genuine respect, not by demanding it, but by becoming someone the world can no longer ignore. The first reason people take you for granted is because you're always available. Most people believe that being available all the time proves loyalty. The Stoics believed it often destroys value. Think about anything that's truly valuable in life. Gold isn't valuable because it's everywhere. Diamonds aren't precious because they're easy to find. Their value comes from rarity. The same principle applies to your time, your attention, and your presence. If you're always saying yes, always answering immediately, always putting everyone else's priorities above your own, people slowly stop appreciating what you give. They begin expecting it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that every moment of life is precious because it's limited. So why give away your most valuable resource, your time, as if it costs nothing? Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're saying no to something that could strengthen your own life. Stoicism teaches that protecting your time isn't selfish. It's wisdom. The people who truly respect you will understand your boundaries. The people who become angry because you finally set limits, were benefiting from your lack of them. Here's what most people never realize. The more predictable you become, the less valuable you appear. If everyone already knows you'll always be there, always help, always forgive, and always return, they stop appreciating your presence because they believe they'll never lose it. Human nature values what feels scarce, not what feels guaranteed. That's why Stoics never allowed their kindness to become weakness. They helped people because it was the right thing to do, not because they wanted to be liked. They understood that generosity without boundaries eventually becomes self-destruction. Real kindness should never cost you your peace. Ask yourself honestly, how often have you canceled your own plans just to make someone else happy? How many times have you answered a late-night call when you were exhausted? How many times have you dropped everything, hoping someone would finally appreciate your effort? If you're honest, you'll realize the pattern. The more you neglected yourself, the more others expected you to keep doing it. Respect begins the moment you start respecting your own time. When people see that your life has purpose, that your schedule matters, and that your peace isn't available to everyone, they begin treating you differently. Not because you've become rude, but because you've finally shown them that your life has value. The second reason people take you for granted, is because you constantly seek their approval. Fake confidence says, I need everyone to like me. Real confidence says, I respect myself even if everyone doesn't. This is where countless people lose their power without even realizing it. They become so afraid of disappointing others that they spend their lives disappointing themselves. They agree when they actually disagree. They apologize for things that were never their fault. They stay silent when they should speak. They tolerate disrespect because they're terrified of losing people. But here's the question every Stoic would ask, if you have to lose yourself just to keep someone in your life, were they ever truly worth keeping? Epictetus believed that if your happiness depends on someone else's opinion, then your life no longer belongs to you. It belongs to them. Every compliment controls your mood. Every criticism ruins your day. Every rejection makes you question your worth. That's not confidence. That's dependence. And people can sense that dependence. The moment someone realizes you desperately need their approval, they hold all the power. They know you'll overlook disrespect. They know you'll forgive everything. They know you'll keep coming back. Not because they earned your loyalty, but because you're afraid of losing them. The Stoics refused to live like that. They understood that approval is temporary, but self-respect lasts forever. Marcus Aurelius never asked himself, "How can I make people like me?" He asked, "How can I become a better human being today?" That's the difference between living for applause and living with purpose. Something incredible happens when you stop chasing validation. Your confidence becomes quieter, but much stronger. You stop explaining yourself to people who have already decided not to understand you. You stop changing your personality just to fit into rooms where you were never respected. You stop pretending to be someone you're not, just to avoid making other people uncomfortable. And ironically, that's when people begin respecting you more. Because real confidence doesn't beg to be noticed. It simply exists. It doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't chase acceptance. It doesn't fear rejection. It knows its own worth, even when nobody else sees it. The strongest people in the room are rarely the loudest. They're the ones who can stand alone, speak the truth, and walk away without needing everyone to agree with them. That's the kind of strength Stoicism teaches. And once you develop it, people stop seeing you as someone they can take for granted, because they know your self-respect is no longer negotiable. The third reason people take you for granted is because you're afraid to walk away. Deep down, you already know when someone no longer respects you. You notice the broken promises. You notice that they only call when they need something. You notice that your effort is never returned. But instead of accepting the truth, you keep hoping they'll change. The Stoics warned against this. Hope without action only keeps you trapped. People naturally value what they believe they can lose. If someone is convinced you'll always stay, no matter how poorly they treat you, they stop protecting the relationship. They stop making an effort because they believe you'll always come back. The moment they realize you value your peace more than their approval, everything changes. This doesn't mean becoming cold or heartless. Stoicism never teaches that. It teaches balance. Help people, but don't abandon yourself. Love people, but don't lose your identity. Forgive people, but don't become their emotional punching bag. The strongest relationships are built on mutual respect, not endless sacrifice from one side. Another mistake many people make is giving trust too quickly. They meet someone, hear a few kind words, and immediately hand over their loyalty. But loyalty should never be given because someone talks well. It should be earned because someone acts well, consistently, over time. Anyone can pretend for a few days. Character only reveals itself after months of pressure, disappointment, and difficult situations. That's why Stoics observed people more than they listened to them. They judged actions, not promises. If someone's words and actions don't match, believe the actions. Actions never lie. Now let's talk about the solution, because understanding the problem means nothing if your life doesn't change afterward. First, start protecting your time. Stop making yourself available to everyone. Your attention is valuable. Your energy is valuable. Your life has purpose beyond pleasing other people. The moment you begin treating your own time as valuable, other people will too. Second, stop explaining yourself to everyone. You don't need permission to have boundaries. You don't need approval to choose peace over drama. People who genuinely care about you will respect your decisions. The people who become angry because you finally chose yourself, were benefiting from the version of you that never said no. Third, become comfortable with disappointing people. This is one of the hardest lessons in Stoicism. You cannot make everyone happy. If pleasing everyone is your goal, you'll eventually lose yourself. Some people will misunderstand you. Some people will call you selfish. Let them. Their opinion doesn't define your character. Your actions do. Fourth, build a life that doesn't depend on anyone else's validation. Develop your discipline. Improve your health. Learn new skills. Read more books. Become financially stronger. Build confidence that comes from progress, not praise. When your identity is built on personal growth, nobody can take your confidence away. Finally, remember this. Respect is never something you chase. It's something you attract. The more you respect yourself, the more other people are forced to decide whether they'll respect you too. Some won't. And that's okay. Not everyone deserves access to your life. The people who truly belong in your life will never punish you for having standards. They'll never ask you to sacrifice your dignity just to keep them comfortable. They'll appreciate your honesty, respect your boundaries, and value your presence because they know it isn't guaranteed. So from this moment forward, stop asking why people take you for granted. Start asking whether you've been taking yourself for granted. Because the day you begin protecting your peace, valuing your time, speaking with confidence, and refusing to tolerate disrespect, is the day your entire life begins to change. That is the Stoic way. Not louder. Not crueler. Not colder. Just wiser. And once you live that way, you'll never have to beg for respect again, because your actions will speak so loudly, that the right people will recognize your value without you saying a single word. If this video opened your eyes, don't keep this wisdom to yourself. Hit the like button so more people can discover these timeless Stoic lessons. Subscribe now and join thousands of people who are choosing discipline over distraction, confidence over approval, and wisdom over emotion. Tell me in the comments, what's one boundary you're going to start protecting today? I read every comment, and I'd love to hear your story. Remember, the moment you start respecting yourself, the world has no choice but to respect you too. Until next time, stay calm, stay strong, and live like a true Stoic.